So in my own graphic design experience, it isn't easy. I'm just starting out learning the basics of graphic design. So what skills should someone who wants to be a graphic designer have?
Well, these days it's good to have a bachelor's degree in graphic design or a related field, and the candidates for graphic design positions should demonstrate their creativity and originality through a professional portfolio. That features the best designs, and a good graphic designer is a problem solver and can work with other people and should be skilled in composition, thumbnail ideas, drawing your ideas, typography, photography, and also know the legalities of graphic design, you know, copyright and that sort of thing. And then also the social implications of their designs, which is emphasized quite a bit by the American Institute of Graphic Arts.
Okay, so what computer programs, since we were talking about computers in the last segment, would you recommend to a novice graphic designer?
Well, the same ones that the experienced graphic designer uses would be the Creative Suite, primarily Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, Microsoft Office Suite, Premiere, or Final Cut Pro.
So are there any well-known graphic designers that somebody could research to get their own ideas about graphic design, since art and projects in general aren't always free of other influences?
Yes, well, there are some designers that I look at, and Paul Rand is one of them, and he's a great graphic designer. He was an American art director, and he designed some of the great logos of our time, and he worked very good in typography. So Paul Rand is a good one. But sometimes if I'm looking for an inspiration, I'll look at other artists that are not necessarily graphic designers. But the ones that I think are functioning now, well, Paul Rand has died, but he's left a great legacy. And Milton Glaser is another one who is a pretty important designer, and he designed the I Love New York logo, which has changed the face and of New York City. People,
yeah, it's so distinct.
Yes.
When people think of New York, they think of that logo.
And I'm sure there's a lot of T-shirts of I Love New York T-shirts. He also designed the Bob Dylan poster, you know, with the rainbows and all this, and so he is also a great designer. But on the other hand, Paula Scher, who is also a pretty famous graphic designer now, and is one of the partners in Pentagram, which is a pretty important design studio, and she's done the Metropolitan Opera and some other ballet companies and many different designs. So everybody does, you know, you just don't do one thing when you're a graphic designer. You can do logos, you can do graphics, you can do brochures and posters and all that stuff. So it's a great job. It's a great profession, because you get to do a lot of different things, and then if it works, you're affecting society.
Exactly. Yeah. Since we run almost solely on branding and logos and that sort of thing now, and I think it's amazing to see graphic designers start to take center stage, because we know a lot of the great painters like Monet and Michelangelo, but a lot of the time you might not know a graphic designer by name. Right,
exactly, and which is the way most designers like it, you know.
Right, they don't like to be the focus.
Right. The work is there, and yeah, it definitely has an effect, and it's expanded immeasurably because of the computer and because of the internet and social media. I mean, it's just has taken things to where I never expected them to be.
Yeah, you'll have more people, you'll definitely be having more people trying that out, which I think is very good.
Sure.
Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel. If you would like to see more of our content, click here or consider subscribing.